right, you're right here at Galaxy 107 FM. It is 6 after 4 a.m. 15 degrees downtown. Not bad, actually. Heading for that high 18 degrees today. It is Tuesday, September 18th. And I know that you're wondering why we're doing this at this time in the morning. Normally I start work in about an hour's time and take you through until 10 o'clock. But this really is a very, very special occasion. Going all the way to Finland, and believe me, it is an absolute pleasure to talk to Saverio Maccne. Good morning, Saverio.
Hello. Good morning and good evening here.
Yeah, it must be about dinner time over there.
Yes, getting dark slowly.
Slowly getting dark. Now, Saverio, you were born in Argentina and now make your residence in Finland. Is there a vast difference in cultures from moving from Argentina to Finland?
Yes, it's totally different. Argentina, in Buenos Aires, my city is around 10 million people. You know, and here is an old country, it's almost 6. So, and the culture is totally different. Yes.
I fully understand, and the population of Finland is pretty much the same population that we have here in New Zealand, so you'd be very, very comfortable over here. I got to be honest with you, but we don't get the bad cold weather, 30 below. My goodness, my friend, you must have some antifreeze in your blood.
Okay, yes, I have Italian blood also. You know, I'm explosive.
That explains everything. It really, really does. Now, you're a blues player and you're a self-taught guitarist. Believe me, that is a big feat in its own right. But you started playing, what, about 14 years of age?
I think it was 10 years old when I started to play.
Okay. It's just in my notes here, it said about 14. So, I've been playing the guitar somewhat since I was about 5 years of age, and I thought I was a late bloomer. But I have never gone to the extremes that you've gone to, and I got to congratulate you for the successes that you've had over the years, my friend. I really, really do. And since we started following you, would you believe that our listeners have absolutely adopted you here at Galaxy 107 FM? They love your music, and especially on a Tuesday night. And believe me, tonight is a big Saverio night. It really, really is. Now, you've got a number of people in your band. You've got Sammy, who's a bass player, and of course Jeremiah, the drummer, and of course yourself. It's only a 3-piece band?
Yes, we usually play with like a power trio in the gigs, but also I got different records with sax player, with harp player, with piano, keyboard guys. So, but now I'm playing in that format because it's easier to handle, you know, power trio.
Absolutely. Well, I got to let you know that blues is my particular flavour of music. I absolutely love blues. And I was going through your list of influences here. You've got all the right people on your influences. Eric Clapton, Jimi Hendrix, Stevie Ray Vaughan, Joe Pass. Now, I love Joe Pass. I really, really do. Freddie King, and of course, the great Buddy Guy. Believe me, they are huge in the blues industry themselves. I don't think it's going to be too long before we see Saverio up there as well. Now, I've got to ask you. We played "Feeling the Blues" to kick this off this morning. Tell me all about it. Where did the lyrics for that come from?
It's the emotions maybe is one of the engine, you know, the motor of the composition, and because it is that I was listening a lot of blues players in the 50s or 60s. When they talk about blues, they talk about the woman they love, but they left, or cheating or something like that. But also for me, of course, is that, but also is the suffer for the people in the cotton fields and the early, days and many things inside you when you got not a job or when your life is really hard to keep them, and everything is that. It's really sad inside you, and that's the lyric, When you get lonesome, you are feeling inside. It's like a fire so high burning your mind.
Exactly. A good friend of mine once said to me, blues is only a good man feeling bad, and I got to sum that up. It's quite true. You never hear of a blues player singing the blues about a love interest that he's just got into, do you?
I'm really happy, something like that, yes.
Exactly. Now, I'm going to get this out the way right away because this happens to us every time we do an interview, and today is absolutely no difference. Saverio, I do know that you're married, but for the rest of the world, I've got to ask this question. Saverio, what's your marital status?
I couldn't hear you. I'm sorry.
Okay, I'm sorry about that. What's your marital status? How long have you been married?
Okay. I met my wife 10 years ago.
And now tell. Okay, now tell me about this because we're really interested. You were born and raised in Buenos Aires, and now you're living in Finland. Why are you living in Finland? Why would you do that?
Okay, 10 years ago I met my wife in Buenos Aires. I was playing in the old neighborhood of San Telmo, a really tourist neighborhood. Beautiful colonial style houses and everything, architecture. For those days, I was almost 30 years old, so I always saved some money to take a really good trip to Europe in those days. I was thinking, so at the same time I met my wife, and I said, okay, I'm gonna be in Europe the next year because always I want to take this trip, okay, I did it, so I started to come here every year. I'm playing also in Holland and Belgium, but not in Finland. So I started to come to Buenos Aires, and some moments I say, okay, Buenos Aires, the economic situation is not good also in Argentina, the political and economic situation, so it was just the right moment to say, okay, I'm gonna live in Europe. I'm Italian, like legally I'm Italian also, so I can live in Europe perfectly. I'm here. It's totally different, of course. I miss the food from Argentina. But for me, it's like a good time because I spend a lot of time on the street and bars and the night, rock and roll and all the things you can imagine at night, and was a lot of rock and roll. So in some moments I need peace, so I came here in the forest and living in the forest near to the river, in the 100 kilometers to the polar circle. So,
Saverio, I have a feeling you would absolutely love where we are here in Kawerau in the Bay of Plenty, North Island, New Zealand. We're surrounded by forestry. We really are. We have three major cities within about an hour or so away from where we are, and including all of our staff come from the biggest city here in New Zealand, which is Auckland. We've all migrated down here, just a few kilometres away. to Kawerau, and it is absolutely picturesque. It really, really is. We have this huge mountain beside us called Purawaki. I've got to be honest with you though, just recently we've been having a few earthquakes on the other side of the mountain, so believe me, we've been feeling them quite a bit. We are on a fault line, I must admit that. So we've been getting a little earth tremor from time to time. But we do a lot of hunting and we do a lot of fishing in this town. It is a forestry town, I will admit that, but we get back to nature here in New Zealand. We're clean and green. We love to be able to be very, very next to nature here in New Zealand. We love our country, we really, really do. And I'm sure if you come to New Zealand, I'm going to talk to you about that a little later down the track, if you don't mind, because I think there is a good reason to be able to bring you here to New Zealand to play for New Zealand audiences, so we will talk about that. But first of all, I want to talk to you about my favourite Saverio Maccne track, which is I Cross the River. I love this track and I want to know more about it. Tell me about I Cross the River.
Okay, I made it in 2014, that song, for my previous album, Crossing the Cross Current. It's some kind of country blues, you know, because I played with Sly, and of course the lyric talks about my trip, my life. When I cross the river is the ocean, of course, you know, in some point of view. It's that I try to put some experience on the lyric, some vision, and some feelings also. And the musical is some kind of country blues with a rocky, and it's a long song. It's 7 minutes.
Yeah, you're quite right. It is a very, very long song, but I've got to be honest with you. You see, this was the very first Saverio song that I actually heard, and I just loved it. I gravitated to this song immediately. I really, really did. As I said earlier on, blues is my flavour of music. Now, being a DJ, you got to keep an open mind and play all genres of music, if you know what I mean. But blues is where I'm at, and I absolutely love this. So, without further ado, let's move on. Here is Saverio Maccne, and I Cross the River right here at Galaxy 107 FM.
Hi Steve, hi Linda, hi Ralph Mantico, hi Georgette.
We're filming you live on Facebook at the moment, and we'll convert that to YouTube very, very shortly.
I want to tell you about my last name. My last name is Maccne, Saverio Maccne.
I was wondering. Look, I apologise. I really do.
No problem.
I'm actually
Saverio Maccne is a composer, a classical composer. I'm Saverio Maccne.
Okay. Well, I'll tell you what. I'm actually going. I struggled with that. With your last name, I must apologise to you. I really did struggle.
Don't worry.
But we Kiwis, we have a sort of an interpretation of our own. So if I get it wrong, I do apologise. Got to welcome everybody that's following us on Facebook right now. Thank you for this. It is 4:20 in the morning, and we're talking to Saverio, a very special edition. Talking to Saverio in Finland. Now, you know, this man is an amazing guitarist. Even though it's blues, it's not country or any other flavour.
Oh, hi Todd
we're
Richard.
loving this.
We must catch up, Todd, please.
Oh, Todd, yes, please. I want to talk to you very, very deeply about your music that you've been coming up with just lately. I want to have another interview with you, please, Todd. Saverio, are you comfortable there, my friend?
Yes. Everything is...
Nice. You don't need a drink or anything? You don't need a coffee?
If you got a beer there, we'll
it would be hard to share it with you, my friend. It really, really would. I would love to give you a beer. I really would. So what we're going to talk about next, after coming out of this, is we'll talk about your websites, about your Facebooks, your Twitter, your Instagram, your website itself. I'd like to point our listeners towards going to buy music. I would rather they go and buy it than get it for nothing, because I think artists, you know, they deserve a little bit of gratitude back for the hard work they do, you know what I mean? And it's not easy being an artist, I know, and especially the expenses and the recording and stuff like that. So I do like to point our listeners towards going to a site where they can download your music for money. At the same time, I will ask you if you've got a website with a merch store on it, so that we can make sure that our listeners are looking for your merch, and when they do buy your merch, probably wear it with pride. We here also promote other bands. They send us t-shirts and everything like that, so we have a subliminal thing happening at the time. Got to thank Leafroy for knocking, I really do. And you'll get this video too, by the way, Saverio. Believe me, you'll find it a bit of a laugh. You'll go and show all your friends, and they will say, "Don't ever do that again." But I got to admit, Saverio, our listeners have adopted you here at Galaxy. They love your music. They really, really do.
Really happy to hear that. Thank you so much. Yes.
At the same time, I want to talk to you about busking, because that's basically where you started, wasn't it, on the streets? And believe me, I know so many professionals today that have started doing just that. You know, some of them still do it. They still go back and have a play on the streets just for old time's sake. Do you do that as well?
Yes, I'm stuck when I was... no, I don't play anymore on the street. But I used to play until 2012.
Okay.
2013.
Okay.
Yeah, I stopped to do that, yes.
Sure.
Because I came here to stay, to live here.
Nice. Is there somebody else in the room there? Is there somebody else with you?
No, it's just...
Okay. Okay, because it just looked like you were about to talk to somebody. I thought, bring them on. Now, at the same time, you're bilingual. You must speak about 3 different languages, I gather.
Oh, that is my nightmare. Always. Speaking with my wife, I speak my own language. No? Because from Buenos Aires, when you talk there, we got in this language, we got a lot of Italian words also. Right.
You know? Saverio, I'm just going to have to cut you off there because we're coming out of time. We'll go back to the desk.
So everyone at www.galaxyfm.co.nz.
Right, you're right here at Galaxy. Yeah, I need to turn the mic on, don't I? It works better with the mic on, apparently. Sorry, I was reading my notes. Saverio, I got to apologise for that. But that's right, you are right here at Galaxy 107 FM. And I'm joined by Saverio over in Finland. And I was just having a chat to him about the bilingual Saverio. He must speak at least 3 different languages. Now tell me about that. How long did it take for you to learn how to be able to speak different languages? Especially, I got to admit, Finnish can't be that easy to speak.
Yes, my mother language is, of course, Spanish. And in Buenos Aires, we talk. I was talking about that. We talk like in the slang. We got a lot of Italian words also because the immigrants, you know.
Yep.
Also, my grandfather was an immigrant. Also. Okay, we got the Spanish. I talk Spanish, and also the English is of course not my mother language. It's difficult for me, but you know. Also, I can speak a really little bit Finnish because I'm learning. I started learning 1 year ago, or almost 2 years ago. I started learning, but it's totally different because it's not Romanic, it's not Germanic, it's not Slavic language. I don't know. Nobody knows the origin of the language, but they think it's some kind of Hungary or something like that, you know, from the mountains. I really don't know, but it's totally different. Yes, and that's it. I understand the Portuguese also.
Yeah, you know, Saverio, I've found over the years that if you're going to learn a new language, you really must immerse yourself in the country and in the culture to be able to pick it up properly. Going to a school to learn something in another country, it doesn't give it the full value, I'm sure of that. And believe me, I've been around the world a couple of times myself, and the closest I've actually had to where you are, to be very honest with you, I've been to Holland. And I'll tell you a little story. This is for the edification of everybody that's watching us right now. When I was in Holland, as you do, you go and have a look at the sites. Me personally, I found a dance class of all things. They were practicing, would you believe, traditional Holland country dancing. So I got involved, if you know what I mean. I'm one of these guys, you can't hold me back. I got to get in there and have a go. And this young lady, sort of, I think she was starting to get a bit sweet on me, to be very honest with me. She comes up to me and she says, "Do you clog?" I said, "Yes, if I eat too much cheese."
Oh, that's funny.
True story. It really happened. It really did.
But I think, I think that for when your mother language is English, it's just a bit easier for the people to travel around the world because everybody talks English. But
Yeah.
when you speak Spanish, it's more difficult because the people don't speak Spanish.
Exactly, and that's where I was coming from, to be quite honest, knowing that you are Spanish in your own right, and I've got to say hola to you. So believe me, it can't be easy transferring yourself from one country over to another and immersing yourself in the culture, in the language, and becoming a part of the citizenship of where you're at. That's not an easy effort in its own right. And believe me, I have great respect for anybody who does that, to be very honest. And can I say, why didn't you consider coming to New Zealand? We could have done with your talent here.
Yeah, it would be great to visit you. Yeah, for sure.
Nice. Now, Saverio, I got to ask you, and the fans want to know this. How do they get hold of you? Are you on Facebook? Are you on Twitter? Are you on Instagram? And when they do get in touch with you, do you respond?
Yes, I got my official website. It's SaverioMaccneGuitar.com. You can find me also in Saverio Maccne Guitar on Facebook and Saverio Maccne on Instagram. And all my records and all my stuff you can find in iTunes and Amazon. You can just hear in Spotify, Deezer, or the virtual platforms.
Nice. Now, on your website, do you have a merchandise store? Can our listeners go and buy some of your products?
Only records. No shirts or T-shirts or only records. But we are working to deliver worldwide.
That is really, really cool. Now, I'm going to say to you, and believe me, I think we would love to be able to do this. How would you like to send us some of your CDs here to New Zealand, we would love to do a giveaway to be able to keep Saverio playing here at Galaxy 107 FM. Would you be interested in sending us some of your work?
Yeah, we can talk about it, yes, for sure.
Nice, nice. I'll get Barbara onto that for you because, believe me, she is invaluable when it comes to communicating with people. Not so much. I'm a DJ, you see. I talk to people on the radio. I'm really, really bad at replying to people on text or anything like that. So I must apologise to the world for that. But Barbara is the one for that, and she would be more than happy to be able to. Yeah, she is really prolific, isn't she? And it seems to be a job that she excels at. So I got the right person working with me, that's for sure. Now, you have done gigs all through the European areas and everything like that. Have you done anything in Canada, maybe America?
No, I've never been in USA.
Okay.
I've never been in Canada as well.
Okay.
But yes, I really would like to. I have friends in New York, I have friends in LA. Yes, I would like to play there, yes. But yeah, we are working on.
Nice. Now, at the moment, and I'm not quite sure what the season is over there. It must be coming, is it coming autumn?
Yes.
Okay, so you're coming into winter basically. All right, so basically now would be the time that you'd be sort of in the back of your mind thinking of getting back into the studio maybe?
Yes, for sure, yes. I'm going to start to composing new material for the new record for the next year, of course.
Very, very cool, because the reason why I'm asking that is when you do produce new work, how would you like to pass it down to us? We would love to be able to premiere it here on Galaxy 107 FM for you.
Okay, thank you. Yes, I will do. Yes.
Nice. Very, very cool. Now, I'm just going to put my glasses on because I know I'm old and I have problems reading. Yeah. There you go. Now, tell me about, you just have to let it roll. Now, tell me all about that. Where did that come from?
I think it's some kind of good energy on the song. That's you know, you wanna have a good time, just let it roll.
You know something, coming from a blues man, that really sounds so out of place, doesn't it? You got to have a good time playing blues. Yes, but you know something? I absolutely love the idea. I love music with a heartbeat, and believe me, you're a rocking guitar player. You really are. I think you're an absolute natural at it. So without further ado, Saverio, let's play this. And believe me, I am absolutely loving this track, I do. So you have to let it roll right here at Galaxy. Here's Saverio.
Hi, Steve from Nichols Lots.
Oh, hey, Steve. Nice to have you joining us. Thank you very much. Saverio, I got to let you know, I played with Steve Vai here in New Zealand, and learned a lot from that guy. Now, believe me, if there's a blues player that could ever teach you something, Steve Vai is the man. Believe me, he was an absolute stunning guitarist. Loved it. And he was promoting a new carbon fibre guitar at the time, so I got to play one of these brand spanking new guitars. Absolutely stunning.
I asked Saverio what he's been doing today, and he's been making a guitar.
So, Barbara just told me that today you make your own guitars.
Yeah, yes, I'm making a 335, ES 335, like a Gibson,
Yep.
like a Lucille guitar, you know.
Well, I tell you what, if you've got any Gibsons, they're going to be worth a lot of money in the future, my friend.
I don't know now because Gibson is in bankrupt, you know.
Yeah, exactly. Wrap that thing up in bubble wrap and put it away for 50 years. Believe me, it'll be worth a mint. I got two at home and I've got them all wrapped up. Believe me, I'm not playing them ever again.
Yeah, but Grant, I'm trying to do a lot of things about guitars because when you live in the forest, you can you can find around some people who can do that. It's difficult to find some people with skills to like a luthier. Luthier. So I'm learning, always learning how to do it.
Nice. I believe me, I have a lot of respect for anybody that can do that. I have a friend of mine who makes Ellington guitars. He makes them out of ordinary biscuit tins and stuff like that. The weirdest things can be a guitar. He made one out of a shovel once.
Oh.
It was a spade, but he made one. It worked.
I saw a videos of about it.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
Yeah, my mate, he almost anything can be made into a guitar as long as it's got a decent neck on it.
Unbelievable.
I was amazed. I was fascinated. So the next song up is the Immigration is Waiting. No,
Imagination.
I haven't got my eyes on. Imagination is Waiting.
Immigration is waiting.
Oh my goodness. But I actually want to talk to you about getting you here in New Zealand. So we'll go to the desk and have a chat about that.
Hi, Roger. Hi, Patricia.
It is 22 away from 5 o'clock and 15 degrees downtown, heading from that high of 18 today. Absolutely excited about that, looking forward to that. I think we're going to have a blinder day, to be very honest. Tuesday, September 18th, and joining us all the way from Finland is Saverio. Now, Saverio, just wondering, do you follow rugby football?
Yes, I like, of course, like Argentinian, good Argentinian guy.
Right. So you would follow the Pumas, right?
The Pumas?
Yeah.
I know about the All Blacks.
I was going there. Did you watch the game?
No, I couldn't. But I know that they won.
Yep. We are the world champions in rugby, and I got to be honest with you. But scary. We played a game last weekend against South Africa, lost by 2 points. We're worried.
Really?
Yeah, we're worried. We are.
The best, man. They're the best.
They are the best. They really are. We train them tough and rough here in New Zealand. We really do. And poor Australia doesn't have a shot ever. It'll never get another World Cup. I can guarantee you that, especially with the coaches that we have here in New Zealand. That's never going to happen. But I got to congratulate Argentina for the game that they did play against the All Blacks. It was a wonderful game.
Yeah, they put a lot of energy.
Well,
They're trying always.
You know something, it's not going to be too long before they are World Cup contenders. Believe me, these guys are getting right up there now. Now, I've been following the Pumas, about 30 years now, to be very honest with you. And it is good to see that they are now getting into the realms of being in the upper echelon of the sport. So believe me, whatever's happening in Argentina, keep that going. Keep it going. We like competition here in New Zealand.
Yes, and actually also Del Potro, you know, tennis. Del Potro is a really good. Used to be a number 3 of the world, but now he lost again Djokovic the last weekend.
Yeah, absolutely. And tennis is such a big thing here in New Zealand as well. I got to admit, we have a huge place in Stanley Street in Auckland that we have the tennis here, and we would love to be able to see talent like that back here in New Zealand as well. And just last year we had the Williams sisters over, and they were huge in New Zealand. And I see that one of the Williams sisters just recently has taken on the courts because she disagreed with one of our referees or one of our umpires in the game. So, you know, it doesn't matter how big you are in a sport, you can still be held accountable by an umpire, can't you?
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
So, it is nice to be able to talk to you a bit about sports. Now, but I want to talk to you because I feel the way that, believe me, people have been adopting you here through our station. I feel it's the right thing to say is, how about coming to New Zealand and playing for New Zealand audiences? Would you consider that idea?
For sure. Yes, we can, fix some gigs, some tour, and I will be there, yes.
You know, we would be honoured to have you here in New Zealand. I have a couple of bands that play blues here in New Zealand that would be absolutely complimentary to your show, especially Cars Gordox and, of course, young Ryan Neville from Christchurch. And Ryan currently has been touring through the United States and has come home just recently, and I think he's looking at doing a few festivals here in New Zealand. Speaking of festivals, how was the festival season in Finland for you this year?
Yeah, it was good. I played in 2 festivals, so it was quite crowded, and the people loved my music, you know, because it's an energetic show. I play blues, but with a rocky energy, you know. So the people dance, and here I have to say, it's really happy because I'm really happy to play here because the people dance a lot. Here, always dance, and they are dancing all the time, so they don't stop. And just drinking, no, and stop. Dance again all the time. So I'm really happy to see, because for the musician, when you are playing, you can see, all the people dancing is because they are really enjoying your music. So it's a really good thing.
That's one thing that we've noticed. You see, we do concerts here in New Zealand. Barbara is the manager of Rory Entertainment that brings bands into the country. The purpose of that, literally, is to put our New Zealand bands on stage and give them the experience of the big stage before they go off into the world and make their own mark, if you know what I mean. It's always nice to be able to send a band that is prepared to do the job and knows what they're doing offshore than basically bumbling around on stage at the last moment. Now, at the same time, I've got to ask you, now let's set the scene here, Saverio. The band's on stage, the lighting is there, the crowd's there, the atmosphere is building. Just before you go on stage, do you get the butterflies?
I think it always. If it doesn't happen, that it's not real. It's not, have to be butterflies in your belly.
I fully agree with you. I really do. But the thing that gets me, and I can play in front of 1,000 to 150,000. That's no worries. That's an average, night. Let's go and have some fun. But I kind of get a little mouth dry if there's like 10 to 100 people, small people, small room. That really worries me. That does.
because you are closer to the people. You know? That's why.
More intimate, yes, and believe me, I had to go and do a speech one day for a group of retired people not so long ago, to be very honest. No music involved, would you believe, which really threw me completely off my game. And there were 70 people all just sitting there staring at me. That was a nightmare. It really, really was. We got through it. We enjoyed it. In the end, I had to bring out a bit of humour to be able to break the moment. But believe me, I would prefer to be in front of 150,000 than just 70. Just between you and me, it scared the hell out of me, to be honest, but hey, we got it done. Now, Saverio, I want to talk to you about Imagination is Waiting. Now, tell me all about that. Whose imagination is waiting, and what is the imaginations about?
It's some kind of, the lyric is some kind of surrealistic. It's not something specific. You know, it's a kind of surrealistic because it's about imagination. Yes, you can imagine what you want in some point of view. Yes, I cannot explain you know, the lyric indeed, you know, and fact, but it's I think. It's all about that. The point is, don't forget to get your imagination on. You know, yes, that's it.
I understand now. I really, really do. And believe me, my friend, I got to ask you. Now we're moving into the, of course, the new album that we're promoting right now. Where did you get this recorded? What recording studio? And who was your producer?
Okay, about the studio recorded is here in the north of Finland. It's in the city of Oulu is the name. A beautiful city. It was 2 sessions. It was between a few months. There I recorded the drums and the bass mostly. And in my studio I put the guitars. I got my own studio in my home. So I put the vocals and the guitars here. I'm the producer. I'm my own producer. I'm my own producer. I produce my music, the arrangements, or all the stuff. The drums play and the bass play. I made the bass line. I composed everything.
You know, I got to congratulate you because believe me, bro, I understand. What it's like to be able to go into a recording studio and have somebody completely change it and turn it around because they think it's better than what you think it is. But at the same time, I'm an engineer and have been an engineer for many, many, many years. And I don't listen to music, Saverio, like a fan would listen to music. I break it down in its increments and listen to it on its merits, to be very, very honest with you. And I absolutely love your work. I got to let you know, please do not change a thing. Keep doing what you're doing. It is absolutely brilliant. So without further ado, let's play Imagination is Waiting. You're right here at Galaxy 107 FM. Good morning.
Thank you for your work.
Oh, believe me, bro, I'm not telling you any lies. We love your stuff. We really, really do. And I'm a big fan. I am a big fan. And so is Barbara.
I really would like to play.
And we belong to the Blues Club in the Bay of Plenty.
Yeah, we actually do belong to a blues club here in New Zealand in the Bay of Plenty. So, you know, when it comes to blues, I'm very particular. Of course, we went through your list. Of course, my choices out of your list, of course, would be Joe Pass and Buddy Guy. I love that style, if you know what I mean. But take nothing away from Eric Clapton or Jimmy Ray Vaughan or even Jimi Hendrix. Now I'm going to let you know, I'm doing an interview very, very shortly with Jimi Hendrix's brother.
Really?
Yes, so I'm looking forward to that. I really, really am. A young man who works with us, who does concerts. His forte is doing concerts and stuff. Him and Barbara work very, very closely. He has been a friend of this guy for many, many years, so I'm looking forward to doing an interview with him. And believe me, I don't get too many blues guys. I really, really don't, and I love it. I do.
I saw Buddy Guy when 14 in Buenos Aires.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
I would love to go.
1 year before, I saw the Upper Collins.
Okay. Okay.
And one of the last shows he made, because he died in September. I saw him in July.
No,
In
yeah.
93, no? 93.
Yes, that's quite true.
I was 13 years old at that time.
Boy, oh boy, oh boy. I'm absolutely, I don't know whether I should say this or not, but the very first person I ever saw on stage playing a guitar and having a ball and jumping around a lot, and I thought I wanted to do that, was, would you believe, Gary Glitter.
I'm gonna laugh.
Really, you know, these were before the days we found out that he was playing with little boys and stuff. But honestly, I won a competition on a radio that sent me to our capital in New Zealand, where he was playing, and I sat there awestruck all the way through it, and all I could say is, I want to do that. So I found out that I was an absolute, let's put a word on it, I was absolutely crap at singing. I couldn't sing for the life of me, so I became an engineer and a radio announcer, and I affected music that way. But I have travelled around the world as an engineer for bands and stuff like that, doing live stuff. So believe me, had a bit of I've got a bit of mileage under my belt.
Hi, Eric.
Eric.
Eric Lee.
Eric Lee's with us. Nice to have you with us, Eric.
Yeah.
Believe me, I am absolutely loving everybody on Facebook right now. Thank you for joining us.
Yeah, meet Saverio.
Let's go back to the desk. You know where I'm going next, don't you?
Yeah.
That's right, you're right here at Galaxy 107 FM. I'm joined by Saverio. Now, Saverio, got to ask you, coming out of Buenos Aires, did you ever go to the statue? Have you ever been up there?
Sorry, I couldn't hear you.
Did you ever go to the statue in Buenos Aires?
The statue?
Yeah, the big white one that you have there.
You mean the obelisco in the middle of the city?
Yes.
Yes, it's traditional, yes. Because always in the bus, you cross always, because it's in the middle of the city. The 9 de Julio Avenue.
Exactly. You know, it's one of those touristy things that you have to do, but you can't miss it, can you?
Yeah, it's an obelisco, yes. It's nothing inside. It's just a huge ladder inside, so you can go to the top, but only the people kick something. No, it's not a public place, because it's small. It's not so big for many people. It's the tradition. Yes. They gather some lights at night, because it's beautiful landscape, something like that.
You know, I fully understand. I really, really do. Now, I've touched on having you come to New Zealand and playing in front of New Zealand crowds, but what... and Barbara's starting to make faces at me now. She does that, trying to throw me off from time to time. And every time we talk to a band about coming to New Zealand, we do a few crazy things here in New Zealand. Are you up for a bit of fun?
Yes, we'll be there. You know, it would be great to be there alone. So maybe I can play with some bass and drums there. You know, New Zealand people there, and also I can make some solo show because I used to play a solo show like acoustic and semi-acoustic. Jazz and blues, no? Standards, jazz standards, and some blues, and my own composition as well. With the power trio, I can play with some New Zealand people. It would be super great.
Believe me, my friend, I can jack it up for you. Not a problem. I've got just the guys in mind to be able to work with you, my friend. But from time to time, we do a few weird things here in New Zealand, and I'm just wondering, have you ever heard of a hoo-hoo club?
No.
Okay, you must be familiar with a thing called a caterpillar, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, this is a caterpillar on steroids. It's like a double-decker bus. It's huge. It really is. It's about maybe that big. It's white. Has a black head. Now, what you do with this, my friend, is you put the live body in your mouth. You rip off the head. Don't eat the head. It's yucky. But when you crunch down on this, it's like eating creamy peanut butter. Are you up for a try?
Yeah, I can try.
I love this. I really, really do. Now, the thing is, everybody says, yeah, we can do it. But you should see the faces of the people when somebody hands you a bowl of white, wiggly, wormy things and expecting you to eat them. You got to wonder who the guy is that's handing it to you, don't you?
For sure. Yeah. The night we have to try. We have to try a lot of things, new things all the time.
Absolutely. And I'll tell you what, my friend, we'll take you down the bottom of the South Island and, I don't know, Barbara, we'll throw them off a bridge. What do you reckon? Yeah, we'll throw you off. We have a thing here in New Zealand called bungee jumping. Would you be up for it?
Yeah, I know bungee. Yeah, I never did. No.
Okay, well,
I don't know what.
Well, I tell you what, my friend, we would be honoured to take you down the South Island and just hike you off a bridge. Believe me, I tell you what, Saverio, I'll get Barbara to send you some videos that we have of what we do here in New Zealand. You will be absolutely fascinated. And the good thing about you being Argentinian and not Australian is that we'll attach the bungee. As you can see, we like to get a bit of stick in against Australia whenever we can. So, you know, it's one of those love-hate things. We love to hate them. They love to hate us, so it's a fair deal. It really is. Right, now, it is one away from 5 o'clock at 15 degrees downtown, heading for that high of 18 today, Tuesday, September 18th, and we're talking to Saverio. Now we've come to the song, and believe me, my friend, I have been busting to play this song all the time. Another circus left the town. Tell me all about it.
I brought that song. Actually, it's from the politicians, you know? It's from the politicians. Yes, because the clown is always the politician, the political guy that never left the government. Always takes some, position in the new government. So that's the clown, And the circus, of course, is the government in that moment and left the town because it's changed. I made that song when changed the government in Argentina. Before was Cristina Kirchner. And that that government, and now it's Mauricio Macri. So both are the same. Thief.
Yeah, you know something, I fully agree with you, I really, really do, and believe me, I interview politicians pretty much all the time, and even our own Prime Minister, would you believe, was brought up just a few kilometres away from where we are, in Morapara. Yes, I know Jacinda, I know exactly where you were born. Jacinda Ardern, our second female Prime Minister here in New Zealand over the years, and is absolutely brilliant that we incorporate females as much as males in the political arena. But let's not forget, every politician is paid to lie to you. They really, really are. They only have their own agenda, and that is looking after their own government, not the country itself. And no matter what politician, what country you're in, I dare anybody in any country to tell me they're happy with their government. Nobody is.
Nobody, yes.
Nobody is. And I think the biggest puppet in the world, of course, would have to be Trumpy, don't you?
Yeah, that's the yes.
Really, when they were doing that...
the political situation is going down really, really far.
It is absolutely nuts. I got to be honest with you. When the Americans were doing their thing and looking to elect a new president, and of course Hillary Clinton and Trumpy come out, everybody here in New Zealand went, "Where's the real candidates?"
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I mean, well, what's Trumpy?
Like a joke. It's like a joke. It's a nightmare.
Exactly. At the same time, let's not forget, the Americans very much are scared of Hillary simply because she believes in aliens.
Yeah.
I'm not kidding. And if you really want to know, here in New Zealand, today's headlines, observatory shut down by FBI to reopen after mystery security issue. What happened was the FBI went to Roswell, New Mexico, shut down this observatory, and told everybody you did not see aliens. The whole town went, "Yeah, we bloody did."
Yeah.
Yeah.
The New Mexico, there is the area, the 50 first.
Area 51.
51.
Yes.
Yeah, there's the Roswell situation.
Now, the government there had to admit that it did actually exist, but there's the Area 52 and Area 53 that we need to worry about. Because if they've made Area 51 now a public thing, what's going on elsewhere?
Yes, we never gonna know that because we are just
Good
people,
morning,
and
Vicky.
they got
Well,
kind of key to open the box.
well, they do. They really, really do. And you got to wonder exactly what exactly they know. Believe me, I have I have my beliefs in religions and stuff like that. I won't say that I'm overly religious or even underly religious, to be very honest with you. But I've had conversations with cardinals saying, "Listen, sir, if you believe in a man in the clouds, he's a bloody alien."
I got your point.
Yes. I mean, hold on. Wasn't Moses the very first internet user? Didn't he go to the top of a mountain and download on his tablet from the cloud?
Yeah, for sure.
So,
we can spend days to talking about that.
I like you, I do. You see, I don't mind poking a bit of fun at religion, but at the same time, very, very serious. And for anybody who is religious, don't take me seriously, okay? Don't take me seriously. Your belief is your belief, and I believe you deserve that. And yeah, anyway. So, it is 5 o'clock in the morning right here in Galaxy 107 FM, here in New Zealand. And believe me, we have come to the pinnacle of it. Another circus left the town. You're right here at Galaxy.
Vicky watching.
Vicky!
Yeah.
Vicky's watching. Nice to have you with us, Vicky. I'll just change this over so Saverio can speak back to us.
Yeah, camera's going a bit funny there.
Yeah, it is a bit funny, isn't it? Saverio, we'll wrap this up here, but don't go anywhere just yet because Barbara has a little something that we normally do. Now, what it is we do a little video and put it on the website. And believe me, with 5.5, 6 million people per hour going through and hooking online, they don't just listen to the music, they get nosy and go and have a look through our website, if you know what I mean. And it's a good little tool to be able to use as an extra bit of advertising for you. So we'd love to be able to do something like that for you. Vicky, nice to have you with us, my friend. I must catch up with you very, very shortly. Really must. We're going to have one together, aren't we? And everybody's going to wonder what that is. A drink. A drink. You think it's a drink?
Yeah.
I don't think so. And it's not sexual. Dear. Excuse me. Geez, you know, I'm going to have to load up the breakfast show very, very shortly. So, Saverio, what is the major export of Finland? Is it forestry?
That is, yes.
Yeah, I kind of thought it would either be forestry or maybe a farming export like meat or lamb, you know, like cows and lambs and stuff like that. I'm just wondering what the major industry would be in Finland. Do you make cars over there?
Yes, it's some kind of cows, but I think it's mostly it's wood.
Okay, yeah.
It's focused on everywhere.
Believe
And
me.
that's also everywhere.
Believe me, my friend, it's the same here. We're surrounded by forestry. We really, really are. But our biggest industry, would you believe, is farming. We export a lot of meat out of New Zealand, and then including fruits and veggies and stuff like that as well. Let's go back to the desk. I love this song.
Yeah, it's awesome.
I do. This is awesome. That's right, you're right here, Galaxy 107 FM, joining Saverio, coming out of Finland right now. I see in the news Egyptian archaeologists find ancient Sphinx statue, but it's only 25 centimetres high by about 30 centimetres long. Just wondering whether it was a toy back in the day. You never know. It might have been. And everybody's making a big deal out of it. Some kid a couple of 100 years ago was playing with it on the floor. Anyway, Saverio, it has been an absolute pleasure connecting with you over in Finland and getting to know you. It will be an absolute pleasure to have you here in New Zealand play in front of New Zealand audiences, and believe me, I am absolutely stunned at the quality of your guitar playing. I love it, I really do. I think you're an absolute master and are going to be making big names for yourselves around the world in no time at all. So I got to thank you so much for joining me and taking the time out of your day to be able to talk to us here in New Zealand, down under, in the Australasias, or the Antipodes, if you want to put it like that. So thank you so much for joining us. But please, don't go anywhere just yet, Saverio. We're going to do a little video for you, put you on our website, and everybody who goes there, go and have a look. Would you believe they research every artist and before you know it, you've got a whole new fan base, to be quite honest with you. So I wish you luck in the very near future. Please stay in touch with Barbara. We would love to be able to do a deal, to be able to get you here, down under in New Zealand. Want to see you live on stage. So I thank you for that. So stay tuned, ladies and gentlemen. You're right here at Galaxy 107 FM. Here's the B-52.